Hey guys, it's Jenny Silver. We're doing a live California EDD unemployment Q&A. I am going to start right away with the questions at 4 o'clock. Once I fix this on my computer. Okay. Little Rainbow, hello. All right, J-Lo at 401, self-employed artist, sold many paintings. I made cash less than $12,400 per IRS. If your income is below that threshold, you generally don't need to file a tax return. Incorrect. Big incorrect on this one. Self-employment income is different. You guys know that self-employment is my thing. I am self-employed. I've been self-employed for over 10 years. I help other small business owners to grow their businesses. If you earn over $400 in self-employment income, you have to claim it on your taxes. The threshold for not needing to file a tax return is for wages. That's for an employee. Self-employment income is completely different. If it's under $400, it counts as a hobby. If it's over $400, you have to file it. You have to have a Schedule C. I have a video on this which links to the IRS documentation. So there's a second part to your question, but J-Lo, you have to claim your self-employment income. It's not the same rule. All right, continuing on, I reported $10,000 of income for unemployment and got $167 a week, minus tax, $150. I don't have any documents to report. Please advise what I should do. You're not going to like my advice. My advice is that you amend your tax return, that you claim your self-employment income, because that's what you're legally obligated to do if you have self-employment income, regardless of if you're paid cash, regardless of if it's under what a W-2 earner would need to file income taxes. Self-employment income is $400. Beyond $400, you have to file income taxes. So my real advice to you would be to amend your income taxes, do things by the book, claim that income. Yes, you're going to have to pay income taxes on it. But my advice is always to do things that in terms of self-employment by the books. Now, if you don't have documentation, if you aren't going to take my advice and file those taxes, I would not expect to receive government benefits when you didn't file your income taxes on that income. So you could prove that you are self-employed by showing that you have a business license, technically, but you're not going to be able to prove what you claimed in terms of income. So that would either be problems with the IRS or a false statement. So I would really, really advise you to amend that. All right, Laura at 403. I reapplied after my 1 year was up per the instructions. Specialist said that it was wrong and piggybacked the extension onto original claim. Now I understand that I should have had a new claim, correct? Okay, so it depends on when this occurred. In June, we had a change to the way that EDD processes end of benefit year. Before June, all claimants were required to file a new claim, regardless of if you worked or not. After June, all PUA, all UI, PEUC, and Fed Ed claimants were required to file a new claim. PUA does never file a new claim. After June, however, we had a rule change, and the EDD said that you must file a new claim if you're UI, PEUC, or Fed Ed when you reach the end of your benefit year if you worked and earned income within the last 18 months. So there was a rule change there. So it depends on when you reapplied and if you had income or not. Sorry, guys, my throat's giving me problems and it's distracting me. All right, so if you did have income, then yes, you should have filed a new claim and you should have been put on a new claim unless that claim was $25 less of a weekly benefit award amount than your old claim, in which case it would be deferred and you would be given that new claim at the end of the pandemic-related benefits claim ending September 4th. If you did not earn income, then you would not file a new claim if it was after June, and you would be automatically extended with a PEUC extension. It's very complicated. All right, scrolling back up because I lost my spot. All right. I love podcasts. Hi, thank you. All right. 404. Jenny, I've exhausted my regular UI claim on June 6th, 2021, and waiting on my first extension. Since then, every time I talked to a rep, they kept on telling me I have to wait. Now is almost the end of August. Okay, so you need to contact your assembly member. If you're waiting on your extension still at this point in time, contact your assembly member. Michael can drop you the link in the chat box. Contact them. They're going to ask for your customer account number, probably your social security number. They might have you sign a waiver. That's all normal. They're then going to follow up the EDD on your behalf, and then they will get back to you. It can take anywhere from a few days to a few weeks, but that is the most direct way to get things fixed right now, unless you want to use Claimer to call into the EDD again, or the phone trick to call in again, but you've already been calling in. So I would use your assembly member in that case. All right, Tyler at 404. My year end is in September 2021. I did work in the last 18 months. Will they calculate from the 5426 I made, or will the amount be the same as my PEUC extension tier 2? So your year is over September 20th. You did work. You're going to file a new claim. That new claim is not going to be based on your old claim amount because this is a brand new claim. They're going to look at your wages from the last 12-month period that includes the most wages. So they say 18 months, but what they're really looking at is a base period of 12 months. Sometimes that base period starts a little bit earlier. If you didn't have enough earnings within a standard base period, then they'll give you an alternate base period. But they're going to be looking at your most recent wages, not your old claims wages. All right, 405. My claim type is UI. Would I still be able to certify after September 4th and get paid? Yes. If you're receiving regular unemployment benefits, state unemployment, UI, those have a duration of 26 weeks. That is not a pandemic-related program. The state always has unemployment benefits available to those who qualify. So yes, you will be able to certify and collect for the remainder of your 26 weeks. All right, Matina at 405. I opened a new UI claim on 3/14. The form I received says benefit year ending 3/14/2022 with a lower benefit amount by about $27. In my details history, it says I'm on tier 2 augmentation. Okay, is there a question here? I don't see the question. Okay, well, I'll just try to guess. So if you have a lower amount awarded to you by $27, then, and you were collecting, as long as you were collecting PEUC, which it says that you were, tier 2 augmentation, then what they do is they defer that new claim, and it's called DNCP, and they set that claim aside. They keep you on collecting PEUC until September 4th. And then once we reach the end of PEUC benefits after September 4th, then they apply your deferred claim. So you should be able to still collect because you are going to receive that deferred claim applied to you automatically, and it will have a duration of 26 weeks. All right, Jason at 405. My balance went back to 0 in May, but I received the message saying I received an extension. My benefit year goes until September, but still claim balance 0. That is quite some time to be waiting on that extension, especially if you already received an award letter. First thing is make sure that your benefit year didn't expire. Benefit year goes till September, so that's not the case with you. So next for you is going to be either contact the EDD directly using the phone tips that Michael can drop in the chat, or if you're unable to get through, then you're going to contact your assembly member. All right, Mission TV at 405. Can you be on payroll for a personal business while also getting unemployment because the payroll amount is very low? Yes, you can. However, you must claim and certify for that income in your biweekly certifications. So when you certify for unemployment benefits, you're going to have to claim that income. Because you're on payroll, you're an employee. Because you are on payroll, you're an employee, you are going to claim that income the week in which you perform the work, regardless of when you're paid. So you can still qualify for a partial unemployment payout depending on how much you earn. So if you earn less than $100 per week, then the first $25 of what you earn does not apply and is not removed from your weekly benefit award amount, but everything else is. If you earn over $100, then the first 25% is not subtracted from your weekly benefit award amount, but everything else is. All right, heroes, 405. Is the DNCP new? I was on FedEd extension, $450 a week in February when I had to make a new claim because the year was up. The new claim was only $394. Should it have stayed $450 and been deferred? Okay, no. Why? Because you were on FedEd previously. DNCP does not apply to FedEd claimants. So if you're PEUC, you reach the end of your benefit year, you file a new claim, and it's a significant weekly benefit award amount reduction, $25 or even smaller, then they set it aside and allow you to collect PEUC. But you're FedEd. It doesn't apply to FedEd, unfortunately. Okay, hi Scotty, made it after your day at work. I hope you had a good day at work. All right, Stephanie at 406. Hi Jenny, I've been on payment since April. I contacted EDD and nothing was working. Contact my assembly person, but nothing is happening. Okay, I'm guessing that you're stuck in pending. Is that what's wrong maybe? Assembly members are kind of the best bet right now. If your assembly member either isn't getting back to you, sometimes they can take a couple of weeks because they have to communicate back and forth with the EDD, and most offices have an EDD liaison that they communicate with on a weekly basis. So it can take a little bit of time depending on when you contact them for them to actually get back to you. I would continue to follow up with your assembly member in hopes that they're able to help you with that. All right, Ira White at 406. I've been pending since April. What can I do? It says EDD is reviewing my documents. It's been a long time. Okay, pending since April, it's a big problem. Address verification, income verification, etc. All those things where EDD is reviewing your documents, there's no set time frame on exactly when they are going to complete that process. So they can take quite a while, but you want to be following up with them. Now, if you've been calling into customer service and it's not been successful, then contact your assembly member. And Michael is going to drop the link in the chat box on how to reach out to them. Don't skip that step because they've been very helpful to many in actually getting paid. All right, 406, Stay Solid Fitness. I received my eligibility letter for my mixed earners compensation and said I would get paid retroactively. Do you know when EDD will start paying the retroactive money? No, they do not have dates published. I have asked my contact at the EDD if they have a time frame, a schedule, an end date in sight, and they have nothing to share with me. So unfortunately, I do not know when you will be paid for that. I'm sorry. All right, Austin at 406. Hi, Austin. So my UI Fed extension ends the 11th, at which point I should still get 1 week 5-0 claim. Will I get it? Austin, I don't know what you mean. Next week I certify for this week and next. And then there's the week after the last week. Austin, your question's confusing me, so I'm going to take a guess at maybe what you're trying to ask. You're on FedEd. FedEd is going to pay out up until claim week ending September 11th. So after the 11th, on the 12th, or whenever your next certification date is, you will certify for claim week ending September 11th. After that, you have no more weeks payable under FedEd. PEUC is done September 4th. FedEd is done September 11th. That means that your next possibility for getting benefits would be if you reach the end of your benefit year, 12 months after your claim start date. Then, as long as you worked within the last 18 months and it's enough to establish a new claim, then you can file a new claim. So that's going to be your next course of action, if anything. And I need some tea. All right. Need to not set it down on this very expensive microphone that I'm going to move. Maybe I should move it out of my drink area because I'm klutzy. put it on the floor. This is why I can't have nice things, you guys. This is why the desk that I'm sitting at is still broken. The leg is still broken, and it's just propped up on a broken leg down there. If you saw it break in my video, it's still there. All right, Chanel at 406. I've been pending for 6 weeks. I received one conditional payment last month. Will my pending payments be processed after September 4th? Okay, you're pending for 6 weeks. You received one conditional payment. These are coming out in kind of clumps, batches. People are experiencing conditional payments in kind of waves. They're not really all coming through at once in most cases. The EDD owes you those weeks. Regardless of the date, your claim week dates aren't going to change. So you certified for those weeks, you are entitled payment for those weeks, you will be paid out for those weeks, but it might take up until September 30th for the EDD to actually pay you out. All right, ES Vines at 407. Hi, Jenny. Is 1040 without a Schedule C enough to prove that you were self-employed if I earned less than $400? Also, I'm too confused by their continuous updates. Is it a bad idea to apply now? So it's not a bad idea to apply now, because if you're entitled benefits, then you should apply and you should claim those benefits while the programs are still in action. If you earned less than $400, are you talking about gross or are you talking about net? If that's your gross amount, $400, you didn't have to claim it because it's technically under $400, not over $400. That's not going to show self-employment because you're not claiming it as self-employment income. You're claiming it as hobby income, essentially. So that's not going to prove self-employment because you don't have a Schedule C. The EDD is yet to release their next email or their next update in terms of what documentation they're going to require current claimants to prove. If you are new to applying, however, they are going to want to see proof of that income. So if you're claiming self-employment income, but you didn't file a Schedule C on it and it's not technically self-employment income, then you can't claim it as self-employment income. So you're kind of in a situation there where you don't really have self-employment income. So I wouldn't claim it if you didn't file a Schedule C on it. All right. Laura Alexander, my 1 year was up in March 2021. Okay. Laura, I don't see a question from you. Emily Kimberly at 407. When PEUC ends, do I need to apply for a new claim? October will mark a year on EDD. Okay, so when PEUC ends, claim week ending September 4th. If you are 12 months out from your claim start date, your UI, PEUC, or Fed Ed, and you have worked within the last 18 months enough to establish a new claim, then yes, you will file a new claim when you reach the end of your benefit year. Regular state unemployment benefits will continue on as usual. Those are always available for those who have employee wages who lost their employment due to no fault of their own. So yes, you can reapply. All right, Tawny at 407. Hello, my claim ended this past Sunday, and it's still saying that I may still qualify for an extension. But how will that go with everything ending on the 4th? Okay, your claim ended this last Sunday. So what we have now is we have about a week and a half left of a PEUC extension. Because you ran out of benefits before that end date, you reach a $0 balance within about 1 week. The EDD sends you a letter awarding you the next phase of the PEUC extension. About a week after that, then you have the ability to certify for those prior weeks, and the balance will populate. Now, keep in mind, they're going to send you a letter that is not accurate to how many weeks you're going to get. It is a form letter. It's going to state either 13 weeks, 11 weeks, or 29 weeks, depending on what phase of the extension you're at. And it makes me really angry that the EDD doesn't update these letters. You will not be able to collect the PEUC extension beyond September 4th. So regardless of how many weeks in claim balance it says, that extension is still going to end claim week ending September 4th. So that's going to be your current course of action. Now, if they take a few weeks to award you this new extension as well as populate it in UI Online, you're still going to be entitled to payments for weeks that you certify for. That would be for September 4th. Okay. Where am I at? I don't know. Okay. There we go. Alina at 412. My claim type is UI. Next certified date is September 5th. Claim balance is about 900. If I usually get about 1,100 every 2 weeks after taxes and including $300 boost, how would that work? So you have to zero out your balance all the way down before you're awarded the next phase of an extension. So you're going to use up that full $900, it sounds like, because your weekly benefit award amount is going to determine how much of a payout you receive. So I can't tell you what you're going to receive in terms of amount because I don't know your WBA, but you're going to receive it, and then it's going to go down to zero. Now, the programs end September 4th, so you will not be entitled to any other PEUC extensions after that. So if you are UI, you're not going to receive a PEUC extension next because we will have reached the end date. Next, you may be entitled to receive 1 week of Fed Ed extension if you qualify for Fed Ed, but Fed Ed ends September 11th. What's wrong with Lyft? I don't know. A Panda at 424 at 413 confused me. I'm UI Tier 2 extension, already used Fed Ed 2. Claim is now $0 for 4 weeks. Is there a further extension I should be receiving? Yes. You should have been migrated over to Tier 2 augmentation, which is the 3rd phase of PEUC. This should be done automatically within 2 weeks after you hit a $0 balance, but they didn't. So first thing, make sure that your claim is not expired. If you're 12 months after your claim start date, UI, PEUC, Fed Ed, and you did work within the last 18 months, you're not receiving the extension because you have to file a new claim. So make sure that's the case. If you're all good there, then next you need to contact the EDD or your assembly member because you should have received that already. JLo at 413. This isn't fair for all that hustled, worked hard before the pandemic, and are having all sorts of issues with the EDD. There's a lot of problems. Yes, it's very unfortunate, and there's a lot. Like, you guys hear me give these explanations to these questions, and each question takes me at least 5 minutes to answer because it's just layers on layers of problems and glitches and mismanagement of this system. All right. I'm giving your opinion. Okay. I'm at 412. Friend and I drove for Lyft full-time with no other jobs. We both filed a claim at the same time. He got the UI program and I got PUA. As UI, he will qualify for PEUC and now DNCP. What can I do? So it's going to be based on the 12 months of earnings prior to the unemployment claim. So it sounds like your friend had employee wages prior to his claim. So he was classified according to that. There's nothing that you can do here because unless you had employee wages 12 months prior to your claim, you're going to be classified differently because your only income was self-employment income. Now, for people that had employee wages, as long as it was $1,400 or more, they're classified as UI. All right, did that one, scrolling down. Okay, Tyrese at 413, I don't qualify for conditional payment. What should I do? So you're not going to qualify for conditional payment if you have not yet received a payout on your claim or if you have not been pending for 2 weeks. If you're one of those, then most likely you're a brand new claim and your claim is stuck in pending. Brand new claims, when they're first filed, take 3 weeks to approve. And then once you certify, they're pending for the first up to 3 weeks while the EDD performs additional fraud checks. So there's nothing that you can do during that point in time. However, if it stretches beyond the typical 3 weeks, then contact your assembly member. And Michael can drop the link on how to do that in the video description down below. Video description in the chat box. All right, I'm at 413. Flash, frame, family, film. It's hard to say. Do you still qualify for MEUC if you make $400 or $450 a week in UI? I only see requirements that you need to have made over $5,000, 1099, and wages. Okay, if you're at the maximum of $450, the EDD doesn't state this, but I don't usually give an opinion unless I really think that it's right. I don't think that you're going to qualify if you're at the maximum benefit. They don't state this one way or the other on their website, but the MEUC boost is made to kind of combat the discrepancy between weekly benefit award amount. If you have a large amount of self-employment income and a small amount of regular wages, the EDD classifies you still according to that small amount of regular wages, and they disregard all of your self-employment income. You would then be awarded an MEUC boost to kind of make up the difference a little bit. If you're already receiving the maximum, however, being awarded a PUA claim based on self-employment income, you couldn't go beyond that maximum. So I don't think if you're at the maximum of 450 that you qualify for MEUC, but the EDD doesn't state this. So I cannot tell you for sure. Still apply and wait and see. All right, Dolores at 414. Finished claim tier 2 EDD says, I did not need to reapply. They would put Fed extension. They never did. I work in June to August, self-employed, job finished. Do I file a new claim? Self-employment is not going to be eligible income to qualify you for a regular unemployment claim. So if all you have is self-employment income within the last 18 months, then no, you would not qualify for a new unemployment claim. And I think that's what you're saying here. All right, Julie, UE stated they pay me 2 weeks. B of A paid me for 1 week. How to correct? Okay, I think you mean EDD says that they paid you for 2 weeks and B of A paid you for 1 week. You would need to contact B of A and send them copies of your transaction history from EDD, and then they can clarify for you where those transactions are located. All right, Jennifer at 414. I'm on tier 2. My claim doesn't expire until 10/15. Will I still receive benefits? Tier 2 is the second phase of the PEUC extension. PEUC is a pandemic-related program, and it will end after September 4th. No, you will not continue to receive PEUC benefits on your current claim after September 4th. That's going to be your last payout. You may receive 1 additional week of benefits if you qualify for a Fed Ed extension, but Fed Ed also ends on September 11th, so it's just 1 last week. So you are not going to continue to receive any benefits until you can file a new claim October 15th if you worked and earned wages within the last year. Okay, Fuzzyland, my payments are back on pending. I'm really sorry to hear that. Contact your assembly member. Michael can drop the link on how to locate them in the chat box down below. All right, Mark, 414. Good evening. Ginger. Well, my friend, I'm not Ginger, but thank you. My question is in your personal opinion. Oh, guys, I don't give personal opinion. I'll read it, but I'm not going to answer it. Do you think Governor Newsom will extend unemployment, even with the recall? Okay, I'm not going to give my opinion here because that clouds what you guys need to know. You guys need to know what to prepare for. So I'm not going to give personal opinion, but what we know is that in order for a state to actually decide to extend PEUC and PUA, the Secretary of Treasury stated that they must be able to have additional funds in their American Rescue Plan Act state and local fund. And then they must choose to allocate it. Now, I did a video yesterday because the budget was released that showed exactly how that state and local fund, which in California is $26 billion, showed how it's allocated. It's all allocated out up to, it's actually 27 billion. So they could potentially rewrite the budget and rework things, vote on it, pass it. But we don't know if that's going to be something that could happen or not. So right now, please plan on them ending September 4th so that you plan everything that you need to do to prepare for those benefits to end. All right, Lynn at 415. Hello, Ms. Silver. I'm currently receiving PEUC. Hi, Lynn. I need to file a UI claim for federal work last year. Is there a yeah, there it is. Special number for federal employee UI? I don't know. That's an area that I'm not knowledgeable in. I'm very sorry, Lynn. I wish I could help you. All right, Albert. I'm on tier 2 augmentation right now, and I was awarded an $89 benefit amount for my new claim that will continue after September 4th. Okay, so yeah, you're gonna receive PEUC up until September 4th, and then after that, you will switch over and receive your $89 per week. That will not have the $300 boost. That will be your new claim amount. Okay, Mission TV 415, can you edit your application on UI Online without having a customer number? No, once you submit it, you can't edit it online at all, even if you do have a customer account number. You have to call customer service and they have to process those changes for you. Okay. Mike D at 416, my weekly amount never changed. I'm on tier 2 augmentation. My claim says till 2022, will I receive benefits after September? No. If you're tier 2 augmentation, that's PEUC. PEUC ends September 4th. All right, Akira at 416, been on UI since 421, but last week was placed on pending phone interview because old employer said I left voluntarily, which was false. No payment yet. Should I call assemblyman? Yes, I would call your assembly member because you're having a discrepancy in your reason for leaving your prior employment. And if EDD isn't able to help you or you can't get through to EDD, then I would contact your assembly member. All right. Marshall at 417, when should I receive my debit card in the mail? If you just applied, pardon the username. So if you just applied, you are going to certify for your available weeks. When those certifications state paid, then B of A disperses your card and you receive it within 10 business days. 10 business days after you see paid. All right, San at 417. Hi, Jenny. Hope you're excellent. Thank you. I soon will be at the end of my regular claim. I should get my last payment at the end of September. What happens next for me? Nothing? Yes, nothing. So you're going to receive all 26 weeks of your unemployment benefits at the end of September. There are no additional extensions right now. So that's going to be the end of your benefits. All right, Gus. 417, I have a UI claim on extension, but my claim shows I have exhausted with 0 balance, but my 1-year claim is not till 11/8. What happens to my claim? Okay, so if your UI on extension, you reached a $0 balance, next you're going to receive the next phase of PEUC extension. It should take about 2 weeks for the EDD to automatically apply that to you. You can then collect that up until September 4th only. After that, then PEUC ends. All right, Big Louie at 417. Hi, Jenny, I'm self-employed. I resume work on July 25th and 26th. I work 2 days a week. When I certified, I put the wrong gross without deducting cost. They said excessive earnings. I certified last week and now pending. Okay, so for self-employment income, you are to declare your net income because your entire claim is based on net. When you apply, they ask for net income. When you certify, it's net income because self-employment is very different. And they do have a video on their EDD YouTube, their wonderful YouTube channel, which confirms that, which shows it on screen. So you need to correct that. Then you need to call into customer service. Getting through is hard. So Michael is going to drop all of the call tips, the discount code for claimer 134 and the phone numbers in the chat box. Now you may be pending because you claimed income. They shouldn't put you into pending when you claim income, but sometimes they do. Their systems sometimes will apply a stop payment alert because they want to do a phone interview with you to see if you are in fact working and don't need your benefits. So if you are still in pending, then you would qualify to receive, after 2 weeks of pending, a conditional payment, which means that the EDD is going to automatically push that over to paid, and they have until September 30th to do so, and then they would interview you later on. So that potentially may be what happens to your claim if you are still in pending after 2 weeks. Make sure you do not miss the interview. because it's a conditional payment. It's conditional on the answers that you give over the interview. Now, if you don't want to wait for a conditional payment because it can take up until September 30th, then contact the EDD or your assembly member if you cannot get through. All right. Rosa Reyes at 418. Hi, Jenny. I'm currently on PEUC Tier 2. I have never gotten the Fed Ed. Will they file for a week of Fed Ed benefits? If you're on PEUC, PEUC ends September 4th. There's one remaining week of Fed Ed after that. As long as you qualify for Fed Ed, then they will automatically move you over to that for that one remaining week. Okay. Tyrone, where's the cat? He is downstairs, being very large. All right, Cami at 419. I called and got through 8 a.m. on Saturday. Had certifications pending for 2 months. Rep handled it and got my payments. I'm really glad you got paid. 420, Ebby. I can't remember what my weekly benefit amount was before I was put back on PEUC. Is there a way I can find the award letter online? So you cannot locate your award letter online, but if you go into your inbox, there might be a version of the award letter in your inbox. So go into inbox and backtrack all the way to like the first page of inbox messages and see if it states it there. It most likely will. But another way to check is to go into your history tab in UI Online and check the transactions there, and then go back to the old transactions and look at your UI program type transactions, and it'll show you there what you were paid under UI. But UI and PEUC should be the same amount, unless you switched between multiple claims at some point. Pippi, I don't know what this is referencing. Ant at 420. I filed my new claim in June this year. I got approved. Since the $300 ends, will I still get regular unemployment pay? Yes. Regular state unemployment benefits continue on as usual for a duration of their regular 26 weeks. Those do not end because state benefits are always available. So if you're on a regular UI claim, that is going to continue. Okay. Second Golden State stimulus coming in September. Yes. So I really don't like calling it second, but they do call it Golden State stimulus too. So if you already received a Golden State stimulus, no, it's not a second payment. It's expanded eligibility and an additional $500 flat if you have dependents on your tax return. So it's coming in September. There's still no date released. There's no update. Many of you have been asking me for an update, and unfortunately, there is no update to share. Lorenzo at 420. Hi, Jenny. Thank you very much for the information. You're very welcome. What are the requirements to qualify for a new claim? In order to qualify for a new claim, 12 months. In a 12-month period, you must have earned at least $1,400 in wages or more. There is a calculator on edd.ca.gov. Unemployment benefit calculator. If you search for that on their site, then you'll be able to calculate out what your approval will be based on your earnings. Okay, JLo at 421. If I should have claim as hubby income, but I claimed as self-employment, what do I do? My friend, I don't know what you mean. If I should have claim as hubby income, but I claimed as self-employment, what do I do? JLo, you got to clarify for me. Type it in the chat and I'll check the chat in a minute and see what you mean. All right, Edwin, 422. Hi, Jenny. Question, I'm on PEUC. I reapplied on 3/1. They awarded me a new claim, 3/1/22. My new benefit amount is $32 more than my old payment. Will they put me back on UI? If you're on PEUC and you reapplied, and you were awarded a new claim, then you should be on that new claim currently. So if you're not on that new claim currently, then yes, they definitely should put you back on that new claim when PEUC ends on September 4th. But that's a little backwards from how they usually do it. That's very interesting. Mike Jones at 422. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you for your support. All right, Alias at 422. Thank you. I hope you're well. All right, 6 Cents Advisory at some time I can't read. Ginny, I'm getting laid off by the next 2 weeks. I haven't got unemployment since 2015, my last claim. When I apply in 2 weeks, can I get any? I think you mean pandemic, but it says pendency. Pandemic benefits. So if you are laid off from your claim, from your employment, as long as you were laid off due to no fault of your own, then you would qualify for regular state unemployment benefits. Pandemic-related benefits, the $300 boost, the extension, and PUA end after September 4th. So you will not be able to claim any of those benefits after September 4th. But as long as you were terminated due to no fault of your own, then you would qualify for regular state unemployment benefits, which is a duration of 26 weeks. Okay, Champ Way at 4:30. Will I still get my backdated pay even after the 4th? Yes. I looked this up recently in the Department of Labor directives. I had to do a lot of digging, and I don't know why I didn't do a video on it. But I looked it up. Yes, they're entitled to pay your backdated payments after the 4th if they take that time to process it. Now, the EDD has stated that you have until October 6th to file a new PUA claim, as long as it's claiming weeks before September 4th. And the same is true for backdating. So yes, you will be entitled to those as long as it's within that time frame. MK, I don't see a question. There it is. I got paid only one conditional payment. Okay, so if you got just one conditional payment, it can be for a variety of different reasons. Number one would be if it was due to a different reason for pending. So if some weeks are pending for one type of stop payment alert, some weeks are pending for another, they might be processing them in different ways. The other would be if some of the payments are on different types of claims, like if you were on UI and then you switched to PEUC and then you switched to a different tier of PEUC, they might be processing those in different batches that way. The last reason would be that maybe some of your pending weeks are not eligible to be paid out using conditional pay, such as if you started a brand new claim, those certifications on a brand new claim are not going to be applicable to conditional pay. Why? Because you have to have received one unemployment payout on that claim, and a new claim doesn't qualify. They also could move to not paid if there were certifications on an old expired claim. So those are all the reasons why you might see that. All right. Now, I'm going to say one last thing after that long, detailed answer. The EDD has until September 30th to apply conditional payments. So if they are starting to trickle in and you're expecting more, expect them to continue to be paid out until September 30th. All right, Jeff, at 4:30, the Fed Ed payment of $300 extra a week, federal payment of $300 extra a week ends in September, but the PUAC, well, friend, do you mean PUA or do you mean PUC claims still continue to the end of their weeks? No, that is incorrect. Fed Ed ends September 11th. PUA, PEUC, $300 boost, MEUC, all end claim week ending September 4th. After that, they all end. So the last payable week for PEUC, PUA, $300 boost, MEUC, is claim week ending September 4th. After that, on the 5th or whenever your next certification date is, you will certify for that last week, and that will be your last payout. They do not continue on regardless of your balance. No, you cannot continue to collect past September 4th on any of those programs. All right, Sue at 4:30. MEUC letter said self-employment for 2019. I have self-employment for 2020 and 21. Would I qualify for MEUC? My letter said 2019 self-employment. Does it also? It's based on when you started your unemployment claim. If you started your own unemployment claim in 2020, then you are required to submit documentation of self-employment income in the amount of $5,000 or more for the year prior. In that case, it would be 2019. If you started your claim in 2021, for example, you would be required to submit that documentation for tax year 2020. So it's for the year prior to your own unique claim. All right, 16, still pending. Yes, so I already answered your question. You can also contact your assembly member, and they might be able to push those through for you faster by communicating with the EDD on your behalf. And Michael can drop the link on where to locate them. I can drink from this bucket. Check over here. All right. Mrs. Suarez at 4:31. Will we still get paid for September 6th, since September 4th is the last day? Sorry if I missed it. So you are going to certify for claim week ending September 4th on either the 5th or on your next regular certification day. You will be paid for that week, and then nothing beyond that for PEUC, PUA, and $300 boost. All right, Jay Diamond at 4:32. If I file a new PUA claim, do you think it will be processed before the 4th? Will they honor it after the 4th? Yes. So the EDD has stated, as well as the Department of Labor, that new PUA applicants can apply as late as October 6th. So apply no later than October 6th. But there's going to be a rush, so I do it as soon as possible. And they will be able to pay you out for weeks of unemployment prior to September 4th. So you can't get paid for weeks after September 4th, but you can still continue to apply for the program for those backdated weeks up until October 6th. Okay, Patty Parker at 4:33. What about funds that are remaining in everyone's account after September 4th? Could they collect and reallocate to everyone for extra weeks? No, those are federal level funds. California EDD, the governor, assembly members, etc., they cannot reallocate those federal benefit funds for PUA and PEUC. That's not their choice. What the Treasury has stated that they can do, and the Secretary of Labor, is that if they choose, if they have remaining funds in the state and local fund from the American Rescue Plan Act, and the state chooses to reallocate those specific funds, then they can do that. But no, your federal level benefits are mandated by the federal government, and that has not been extended. So no, they cannot do that. All right, Life with Liz at 4:33. I'm receiving regular UI and it expires in March of 2022. Will I still get UI benefits after September 6th? Yes. Regular state unemployment benefits, which are 26 weeks, will continue on as usual. That program is not pandemic related. The state of California always has regular unemployment benefits available to those who qualify. So yes, you'll continue to collect. All right. Michelle at 4:34. Do you know any more about Golden State Stimulus 2? For the tool online, it appears I'm eligible for the second payment. Golden State Stimulus 2 has not had an update in quite some time. People keep asking me for the most recent. There is no most recent. Currently, if you qualify for the Golden State Stimulus 2, which is expanded eligibility and an additional $500 flat payment, if you have dependents, then those are expected to start going out sometime in September, but we don't know exactly when. All right, John Francis, 4:35. My new claim started April 2021. It says it ends April 2022. I thought it ends September 4th. What happens? Okay, so if your claim started in April 2021, and it says April 2022 is your end date, that means that you're a regular unemployment claim. That means that you earned wages, you were an employee, and you're given a benefit year, 12 months to use your benefits. Regular UI claims are granted 26 weeks. You can collect those regular unemployment 26 weeks any point in time throughout that benefit year. What expires September 4th is PEUC, which is an extension for regular unemployment, PUA, which is pandemic-related unemployment benefits for people who are self-employed or didn't have wages, etc. and the $300 boost. So that is what's going on with that. All right, John at 436. I called last Monday to apply for MEUC. I was approved, but they said they're going to send the application through regular mail. And as of today, I still don't have the mail. Do you think I need to call them again to follow up? When was it? Last Monday? It's been over a week. I would give them 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and then I would call again. Will EDD extend? As of right now, there are no extensions. EDD, but that's kind of misphrasing it. EDD is always going to be there. EDD is the government branch organization that oversees and manages unemployment benefits. Regular unemployment benefits continue on. What ends? PEUC. $300 boost, PUA, MEUC. Those all are set to end claim week ending September 4th. They are not being extended as of right now. Okay, 437, Father Men. I was told I was getting an extension, but haven't seen any updates on my online account. Okay, so if you're going to be awarded an extension, your balance goes all the way down to 0. Within about 1 week of hitting a $0 balance, you then should receive an award letter for the next phase of the extension. About a 1 week after that, you then should have the ability to certify and see your claim balance populate. If it takes longer than 2 weeks, then contact the EDD. You can use the call tips that Michael can drop in the chat box. And if you can't get through, then you can contact your assembly member. And they have been very helpful in helping people fix their issues. Let me see if this was my assistant. No, it's not. All right. Albert, you're very welcome. Thank you. Jonathan, 438. If you haven't certified for months but reopen the claim to do so, will I get paid for the weeks I missed that I didn't get to certify? Was locked out of my account. Yes, so as long as you qualify to collect under those weeks, your claim is reopened, then those certifications should be activated and you should be able to certify for them and get paid. Yes. Okay. Lynn, you're very welcome. Thank you. All right, KD at 438. I am currently receiving benefits on benefit year 3, 2020 through extension. Program type, extension 2, augmentation. I opened a new claim in March, was awarded benefits. Where's the rest? I found it. All right, KD, what happens after September 4th? Do I roll into 26 weeks of UI for my new claim, which ends 3/22? Okay, now I have to go back up here and look at the first part. Don't do 2-part questions, you guys. It makes me much slower. All right. So if you were receiving benefits, you filed a new claim in March and you were awarded a new benefit year. So here's the thing. I'm going to generalize because I'm having trouble migrating between your 2 different questions. If you are awarded your claim, you reach the end of your benefit year, you have to file a new claim. Then you're going to be awarded that brand new UI claim. You're going to collect under the new UI claim unless the weekly benefit award amount is significantly less than your old claim. In that case, then the EDD will set your new claim aside. They will allow you to collect additional weeks of the PEUC extension. And then after September 4th, if you have not been collecting on that new claim yet, it's called DNCP, Deferred New Claim Program. Then they will send over that deferred claim automatically to your account, and you will start collecting on that claim. And that will be 26 weeks of regular benefits. All right. Okay, not a question. Jose Rodriguez at 440 contacted the state assembly member last week, Monday, and I still have not gotten paid. EDD said I have unclaimed hours reported by an agency last year. Payment still pending. Okay, sounds like they have work hours for you that you worked for a company and you did not certify for them. So if that's the case, then you're not going to be eligible for some or all of your benefits, depending on the situation, how much it is, etc. So I would make any efforts possible to try to claim those hours yourself before the EDD issues a final decision on your claim. So if you do have hours, if you do need to claim them, then submit that in writing to the EDD so that you have a copy of it yourself for your records. If it's a mistake, then I would contact your assembly member to try to get some help. Okay, Nicole Grant at 441. Benefit year ended 2021. So I reapplied and was put on PEUC. Claim was denied for not enough wages, even though I made enough in the past 18 months. Assembly member didn't know about DNCP. Why? Okay, so it's not that you made enough in the last 18 months. A base period is 12 months. Now, the EDD states that you must file a new claim if you worked and earned income within the last 18 months because they can establish what's known as an alternate base period, where your chunk of 12 months, where they look at your wages and determine if you're eligible, gets shifted back by a quarter. In some cases, if you qualify based on those wages. So it's not based on 18 months of that. So I think you might be misunderstanding there. Assembly member doesn't know about DNCP. Why? Because they're not, they don't work for the EDD. They're not EDD, they have had to kind of become EDD experts, but they don't work for them. So they're not going to know everything. What they do for you is they take your information and they communicate with the EDD on your behalf. That's the best answer I can give you. All right, Jose Rodriguez at 441. I have T received, no taxes. Either or no Golden State stimulus checks. I did my taxes in July. Okay, so I think you're just asking about stimulus, Golden State stimulus. If you did your taxes in July, Golden State stimulus 1, in order to qualify, oh gosh, you guys, that's a whole big long topic. I'm going to refer you over to watch the videos because there's a lot of different ways to qualify. If you are still awaiting payment for the Golden State Stimulus 1, and if you qualified that way, then those should have been paid out by now. But if you're waiting Golden State Stimulus 2 payouts, if you didn't qualify the first time and you're awaiting that payout, those have not yet begun, and those will begin in September. Now, if you don't know if you qualify, then you need to watch my videos on my channel homepage where I go over all the ways that you can qualify. All right, 442. I have only 7K balance on my extension, but still 21 weeks not paid. 7 pending, 14 missing on backdate request. So worried about EDD message that no extensions will be filed after 8/29. I'm not really sure what you're saying here. So if you qualify for backdating, if you were approved, then you're going to be entitled to those weeks. If you've already submitted the backdating request, it was already approved, then the EDD will continue processing payouts even after the September 4th end date. Why? Because those are backdated weeks. Those are old weeks that you were entitled to because they were within the program guidelines. Okay. Relax at the disco. Just here to watch Ginny puzzle out questions. Yeah, as I'm currently struggling over a few of them. Some of the wording of your questions today, you guys, is slowing me down. Try the best that you can to enter them as clearly and concisely as possible, so that I can help you the best I can. All right, Dan at 501, and then I'm going to go back up because my computer skipped ahead. City I live, San Diego. So it shows I wasn't travel on a vacation. Is there any way I can get at least some of that amount refunded by the rental assistance budget? Dan, there's more. Okay. Never mind, it's out of place regarding rental assistance. I was homeless and couldn't receive the rental assistance because I was not a tenant. I have $7,300 in hotel room receipts. Okay, so I think you're asking if you were able to get rental assistance based on hotel room receipts. The answer, unfortunately, would be no, because the rental assistance program applies to tenants and landlords. I want you to go to my channel homepage and click on, there's a video on my channel homepage. You can see it. I think I'm wearing a red dress and it says, How to get more help, benefits ending. It's under the California Pandemic Related Aid Program section. I go through lots of different resources on there for how to get help. And one of the resources is a big long list of different housing grants, including homeless resources. So I want you to go and watch that video on my channel homepage. And I hope that you're able to find a program that will provide you some sort of assistance. All right. Nicole at 441. Okay, I already did that one. Did that one. I went back too far, you guys. All right, Maria at 444. Is a 2019 1099 form copy good for PUA requirement? Not quite. So PUA, they're going to be asking for either proof of self-employment or proof of self-employment income. Now, for proof of self-employment, 1099 does show that you are self-employed. For proof of self-employment income, however, if you need to show how much you earned because you are earning a weekly benefit award amount that is above the 167 minimum, 1099 is not accepted. Why? Because 1099 shows gross income and not net income. What you will want to provide will be your Schedule C from your 2019 tax return, if that's the year prior to your claim start date. So Schedule C from your tax return. All right, RS at 444, confused about the deferred, broken computer. Confused about the deferred program. Seems as if claimants are getting 26 more weeks past federal programs ending because their award was less than $25 less than their 2020 claim. What was I missing? You're right. And I don't know why exactly this is. The deferred claim program, when you file a new claim, reach the end of your benefit year, file a new claim. If you're awarded a new claim and it's a smaller amount, the EDD sets that aside. They continue paying you out on PEUC. And then at the end of PEUC, then they issue you that new claim. So it does seem to be unfair in that case, because if you qualified for just a little bit less, then you still get to continue to collect those 26 weeks. I'm not sure why it is that way, so I can't change it, but that's what the situation that's happening with that. All right, straight out of Stockton at 445. I have 10 weeks of still pending payments, and I received one conditional payment, but nothing since then. My claim says Tier 2 augmentation on extension. What can I do to get my payments? If you are pending, contact your assembly member. Michael can drop the link in the chat box on how to locate them. Click the link and contact them right now. They have been very helpful in getting many of my subscribers pushed from pending to paid. All right, Angel at 445 after this. Loud swallow. Next to my mic. Hi, Jenny. Next certification is not till September 5th for last 2 weeks up until September 4th. Okay. You will get paid for them regardless of the fact that you're certifying on the 5th. That's when you certify for that week. So yes, you will receive payments. 446. My dad got disqualified for no reason. They never let him to identify himself. But now they're saying he was disqualified for not identifying himself. Okay, so you're going to need to solve that directly with the EDD. I would start by contacting your assembly member because the EDD is really tricky to get through. And once you do get through, you're not quite sure if the person is going to actually be able to help you. I would contact your assembly member, or rather your dad's assembly member, because it's by district. And Michael can drop the link on how to locate them. All right. 446, didn't apply for housing assistance in California, paid my rent, but have not paid electric for a year. Looks like some will get housing forgiveness. Do I qualify for forgiveness? I did not apply house assist. You would need to apply and find out what they're able to offer you. I can't tell you based on your own specific scenario, but go to housing is key, and you're going to need to fill out the application and see if they grant you assistance. All right, 446. On my payment status, it says outstanding. Do you know why it would say that? Outstanding means that they have mailed you a check. John Lorenzo, call EDD for MEUC got approved. The application will be sent by a regular mail. Okay, I already answered you, John, quite a while ago, but I'll answer again. I would allow 2 weeks, and then I would call in. Rob at 446. I applied and qualified for unemployment in March 2021. I think my 26 weeks is up in mid-September. Will I qualify for an extension? No, you will not. The extensions, the EUC ends September 4th and FedEd ends September 11th. So no, you will not qualify for an extension. Your unemployment benefits will end then. All right, Tony at 446. Are conditional payments still being processed? I've been pending for 7 weeks, waiting for a determination interview after underreported wages by mistake on a new UI claim, and it has already been paid. Okay, yes, conditional payments continue to be processed. The EDD has up until September 30th to push those through. So continue to either wait for it, or if you want to get paid faster, contact your assembly member. All right, Angel, 448. Oops, made a mistake on my question. My next certification is September 5th for previous 2 weeks. Will I still be able to certify? Yes, you will. You will certify and you will get paid for that last unemployment payout. J-Lo, okay. Art is my hobby. I sold art on street and at art shows or bar restaurant, wherever I went. I would hand out my postcards. I painted people. Okay, I see more here. Let's see. I made cash since pandemic. Everything closed and people didn't want to make any contact. I couldn't make a living. Therefore, I was told I could apply for EDD as self-employment. Okay. All right. Mean S4 at 449. Sorry, I just joined, but have a balance remaining on my claim. Will it all end September, or is that just the extra 300? What ends September 4th is PEUC, PUA, $300 boost, and MEUC boost. If you're collecting regular UI, it's going to be noted as UI in your program type in the history tab. Then that continues on for 26 weeks. Regular unemployment benefits continue, but PEUC, PUA, $300 boost all end, regardless of claim balance. All right, Chris C. at 449. Assembly members saying they are backed up by 3 to 4 weeks to reach EDD about claim. EDD's fault. Yes, it is definitely EDD's fault. They shouldn't even need to be helping you with your claim. The assembly members, that is. That's not within their regular scope of duties. But because they are helping their constituents, they are now very backlogged in some cases. But in many cases, they are telling you that they're backlogged and then actually following up a lot faster. I've had a lot of subscribers let me know they contact their assembly member's office. They are told that it's going to take about 4 weeks, but then they're contacted back within a few days. So it could take some time. It might be worth calling into the EDD if you have a particular assembly member that is not following up with you and it's been a couple weeks. Then I would try to consider maybe using Claimer to call in, and Michael can drop the discount code, or using the 134 phone trick to call in. But assembly members, in a lot of cases, are giving that disclaimer, but then following up faster. All right, Darash at 449. Mine's expired on August 7th. It doesn't say pending. It only says certification received. Yet they keep asking me to certify every week. Okay, so if your claim expired, if your UI, PUC, or FedEd, and you and you have worked within the last 18 months, you're required to file a new claim. So if you worked within the last 18 months, you're not able to collect on your claim because you need to file a new claim. So do that. If that doesn't apply to you, though, and those certifications are just sitting there, you didn't work within the last 18 months, then I would contact your assembly member, and they hopefully will be able to help you. Right, Ashley Jean at 449. They denied my dad for MEUC, even though he made over the $5,000. They said his documents didn't prove that. Any tips? Okay, some people are misunderstanding the documentation that needs to be sent in. What the EDD wants is they want to see your net income, not your gross. Gross is the total amount of sales. Net is all of the income after deductions and taxes. So they want to see your Schedule C. So on the tax return, you're going to look at Schedule C, line 31. That is the line that shows net income. If it doesn't say over $5,000 there, then it will be rejected. Additionally, if you sent in a different type of document, such as a 1099 bank statements, etc. That's not going to show proof of net income either. So Schedule C and look at line 31 to confirm that it's the right amount. All right, Peter at 450. Hi, Jenny. I'm on my second year collecting UI. I was awarded a new claim from May. So after September 6th, would they continue paying me for the rest of my balance? Yes. You filed a new claim. You were awarded a new regular unemployment claim. That's going to continue on for its full duration of 26 weeks. Regular unemployment will continue on as usual. Thank you. All right, Amelia at 451. Hi, Jenny. My husband was retired to other job, and he was laid off from his job last 2014. I just want to know if he qualified to apply for unemployment. Okay, so if he was retired, so he had two jobs. One job he retired from, and then the other one he was laid off. So it doesn't sound like he qualifies unless it was for a COVID-related reason. One job he left voluntarily. The other job he was terminated. Unless it was a COVID-related reason why he was terminated, such as the business was closing, etc., then he would not qualify. So it depends on exactly why he was laid off. He has to be in a loss for his employment due to no fault of his own. All right, Trisha at 451. I found out the reason we were pending is because we didn't put down why he got terminated, but we were waiting for a phone interview, and that made us pending so long. Yes, if you're waiting a phone interview, the phone interviews can take up to like 16 weeks in order to schedule. That is the reason why we have conditional payments now being applied. Conditional payments is what came about from the class action settlement with the EDD. The EDD now has to push pending payments to paid by September 30th if the claimant has received one or more unemployment payouts previously and has been pending for over 2 weeks. So those pending should get pushed to paid automatically by September 30th, or you can contact the EDD or your assembly member to get them pushed through faster. All right, Stephen at 452. My account still shows pending for the month of July and August. I emailed my assembly member last week. What should I do? So they can take a little while to get back to you. All the offices are different. There's 80 different assembly members. Some of them have hired those 2 staff members that they have been approved to hire, and some of them have not. So they all have different variances of how quickly they can respond, how helpful they are, etc. If you are waiting over 2 weeks, then I would reach back out to them again politely and ask for a follow-up. Can I follow up on the status of this and see if they're able to help you? If you emailed last time, you did not receive a reply at all from your initial email, then I would call into the office as opposed to emailing. Okay, Edward at 452. Any information on American Rescue Plan funds that are available in California? Watch my video yesterday. I went over that in my video yesterday on my channel homepage. All right, Trisha, I did call EDD and got through with 134, you said, which is overpayments. So I think you did it wrong. The 134 trick, it's you enter 1 for English or 2 for Spanish, and then when they say select from the following, you enter in 134 all at once. And then that usually will transfer people over to a regular line. The overpayment happens when you guys don't push 134 all together and you just do 1 for English and then 3-4 later. So I think that's probably what happened. All right, K-Popcorn at 453. My benefit year ends 11/6/2021. I plan to file a new claim. Then unemployment. Still unemployed. I am not entitled to any benefits September and October. No, you're not. So your benefit year ends in November. PEUC extension ends September 4th. If you qualify for a Fed Ed extension, you can collect that 1 remaining week up until September 11th. After that, all the pandemic-related programs currently are going to be expired. So you're not going to be able to file a new claim until you reach that November end of benefit year date. Then you will file a new claim if you qualify. All right, my email at 453. The beginning of last month, was my 18th month of UI and pandemic extensions. Of 8 payments stuck on pending. Will I get paid? Contact your assembly member. Michael can drop the link on how to locate them. In most cases, they're able to help push your pending to paid. Okay, Cami at 4:53. Okay, you're just giving some assistance. Thank you. 4:54. I emailed my district assembly. They just want me to call EDD persistently. That's a little unusual. If your assembly member is not able to help you, you can try contacting Lorena Gonzalez's office. Go on Twitter and look up Lorena Gonzalez. Her office in most cases has been either helping or redirecting people that can't get help from their actual assembly member's office. So try that route. Additionally, you can try the 134 phone trick, which takes a little bit of redialing. By a little bit, I mean a lot. You can try the 25 phone numbers to call EDD. And you can try Claimer, which is a paid service that sends you a hold line. That one does work. And Michael can drop the links to all of those in the chat box. Angel at 4:54. Can I go back to UI and start collecting regular unemployment after September 4th with no $300 boost? I was originally on UI. It depends when your benefit year ends and if you're eligible to file a new claim. When's your benefit year end? 12 months after your claim start date. That's the end of your benefit year. That is the point in time when you can file a new regular unemployment claim. Now you're going to be awarded a new claim if you worked and earned at least $1,400 worth of income the year prior to being unemployed. All right, Josie at 4:54. I'm on UI 5/2021. Yesterday, EDD converted me to PEUC. Why? No more UI benefits after 9/4. If you're on UI since May, only 3 months, that's only 12 weeks worth of benefits. I can't say why they moved you from UI to PEUC because you should have collected 26 weeks worth of UI. Double check your transaction history in UI online, and then you're going to need to contact EDD to get that explained to you. Okay, they haven't paid you for 8 weeks now. Contact your assembly member. 4:54. I've gotten outstanding on my claim payment. Why? Outstanding means that you are going to be mailed out a check. Okay, Patricia at 4:58. Hi, Miss Ginny. I was on UI last July 2020 due to my employer closing the doors on 3/11. I then got money from their PPP loan on May and June. Does that change my last day of work to June and not March? No, so you didn't technically work for that income, but you were paid regular wages. So you have to claim that income in your biweekly certifications. You have to state that you received that income, and it'll reduce your benefits or maybe even deem you excessive earnings for those weeks, depending on how much you received. But it doesn't change your unemployment date. That still remains the same. All right, Gloria at 5 o'clock. I finally got through to EDD. I'm owed 12 weeks, I think, but only got 6 weeks, which I'm supposed to get 12. But I see on my email from EDD what I received and what I was denied. Okay, so you may have been ineligible to collect some of those pending weeks. Sometimes if you had your benefit year expire, you did not file a new claim, and those were pending, you filed a new claim and then moved on to a new claim, those pending certifications will move to not paid because they were expired. They're certified on an expired claim. In that case, you have to backdate your newest claim. You should be able to do that on askedd.edd.ca.gov or through customer service. Now, there could be other reasons why you were denied some of those other pending payments, but for other reasons, you're going to need to contact the EDD directly. Now, if they're still marked as pending and they don't say not paid, they don't say disqualified, then you are still awaiting additional conditional payments. It's hard to say, to be paid out to you. They have up until September 30th in order to do so. And if you do not want to wait, then contact your assembly member would be my advice. And Michael can drop the link. All right, Isabel. Oh, it's 5:22. I have like 8 minutes more worth of questions, and then I'll be all done. All right, Isabel. Question is, since benefits will be ending on Saturday the 4th, will we still be able to certify on Sunday the 5th? Yes. Right. Them. Where's the rest? There it is. EDD never sent me January and February to certify. Do you think they will send me those weeks if I contact them? Did you qualify for them? Did your claim start and include those weeks? It sounds like maybe your claim start date didn't include those weeks and you might need to backdate your claim. If that's the case and your claim start date did not include those weeks on your award letter and in UI Online, then you need to go to askedd.edd.ca.gov and request backdating. If that's not the case, then yes, I would contact the EDD. Okay. Martha at 508. I've emailed regarding a desire to apply to training benefits 2 to 3 times. Calling them is a nightmare. Any suggestions? I start a training program in September. Okay, California Training Extension allows you to continue to collect benefits while you go through an approved training program, as long as you are applying and approved for that program through EDD before week 16 of your regular unemployment benefits. You're having a hard time getting through and you can't get through and it's time sensitive. I would contact your assembly member right away and I would let them know what number of week you're on with your benefits, that this is time sensitive, that you have to apply by week 16, and then send them your screenshots of your attempts to contact, and hopefully they're able to help you. You're reading old questions, girl, what you doing? I'm going through the chat and there's like thousands of messages. So yes, I'm usually about 15 minutes behind in the chat, sometimes 20. Anthony at 508. Hey, Jenny, I have remaining balance after September 4th. Can I still claim that or not? Okay, so if you are PEUC, PUA, you cannot collect your remaining balance after September 4th. The program's end. If you are Fed Ed, you cannot collect your remaining balance after September 11th. If you're regular UI, regular unemployment, not on PEUC, not on PUA, then yes, you can continue to certify and collect for the duration of your claim. Okay. You guys, when you complain about me not being able to answer thousands of questions, it just delays me even more. I can't get all of them. So there's no point in reading this one. Okay. I have no idea how to see the time on here, but it was around. Yep, you guys, you just have to re-ask every 15 minutes because unfortunately I cannot get all of them. Found my claim form, California, up to 86 weeks. Granted the Fed 300 stops in September, but the PUA claim still keeps going until it is done. No, PUA does not keep going until your balance is gone. PUA ends September 4th. $300 boost ends September 4th. PEUC ends September 4th. Okay. Doug, what happened to my question? You guys, I have to skip through the chat because there's so many. That's what happened. Re-ask every 15 minutes. I transferred $3,000 to my bank. It was successful, but try to transfer the remaining amount, $2,000, is not going through. I was told to protect your account. Additional transfers are not allowed at this time. Okay, so yes, it sounds like they are not allowing you to transfer that full amount because you've reached the maximum. So I'm not sure if it is a 24-hour maximum. Go to Bank of America EDD Card Services, and if you look up their website, then they'll be able to tell you the transfer limits. But try it in a couple days, transfer the remaining balance out. And for those of you that have balances in Bank of America, don't keep them there. Please transfer them out to your own personal bank account. Okay, I already did that one. Antonio at 507. Can we stop it? Oh, gosh. Okay, I didn't mean to read that one, but thank you. All right, I already did that one. Scrolling down. Samson, you're slowing me down, Samson, because you asked it way too many times, and I'm sure that Michael has probably blocked you or muted you for a while. All right, 511, Jameson, I'm on PUA until the 4th, obviously. My last certification was on 8/15. My next certification is 8/29. I found a new job. Should I still certify? I've heard conflicting answers. Okay, so it depends on how much income you're earning. If you're working full time, then you're not going to certify. You're simply going to stop certifying. Your account will go dormant and will close until you need to reopen it. But if you're working part-time hours, then you can still certify and you might be able to collect a partial unemployment payment. Now, if you are earning less than $100 per week and you are an employee, right? Yes. You're an employee, so you're going to certify the week in which you do the work, regardless of when you're paid. If you earn less than $100 per week at your job, the first $25 of that payment does not get subtracted from your weekly benefit award amount, but everything else does. Now, if you earn over $100, the first 25% does not get subtracted, but everything else does. So you can continue to certify if you're working part-time hours, and you may qualify for partial payments. All right. Troll at 512. This makes me think of Sunny in Philadelphia with the troll toll. Literally impossible to get through over the phone. All the tricks definitely don't work anymore. Okay, I still have a lot of people telling me that the 134 trick still works for them and is working better the last couple of weeks because the call volume, while still terrible, has decreased a little bit with these conditional payments rolling out. Additionally, if you do want to pay Claimer, that does work, and it does send you a hold line, and my link saves you $5. If you don't want to pay Claimer, which is completely understandable, my number one thing that I still recommend is contacting your assembly member. Contact your assembly member. It's free. Most of them have staff members that they've been able to hire to help with these EDD claimant overflows. And Michael can drop the link on how to locate your assembly member and contact them. Okay. Make sure that things are good here. All right. Rita James at 512. My balance is $28K. How do I get it? So unemployment balances are created by your number of weeks allotted to your unemployment claim times your weekly benefit award amount. You can then collect that balance on a weekly basis, certifying every 2 weeks as long as you are qualified to collect for each specific week. Unemployment balances aren't like a lump payout that you can take out. You are entitled to those payouts weekly until the claim or the program ends. Now, for PEUC, PUA, and Fed Ed that have end dates, you are not going to be able to collect that balance after the programs end. For UI, it's going to continue on. You can continue to receive payouts. Now, if you started your unemployment claim, but that start date does not reflect your actual date that you lost your source of income, you can potentially backdate your claim to an earlier date and receive backdated payouts with some of that claim balance, as long as you qualify. So if you think that you might be entitled to backdating your claim because you were unemployed earlier on, you can go to askedd.edd.ca.gov. And I have a video on how to do it where I explain it on my channel homepage. Ernie says use Claimer and avoid the headache. Yes, Michael can drop my link, which saves you $5 on your first call. Hello, Oscar. Samson. Oh, Samson. All right, Jack at 514. May I please just say thank you? You're very welcome. Thank you. Helpful answer. I'm really glad to hear that that's been helpful. Thank you. Sean at 515. I have 2 weeks listed as unpaid, but I don't know why. I was told when I got through before conditional payments were announced that it was flagged as potential fraud. I have a week that still says pending. Okay, so if it's moved to not paid, you would need to clear that up with the EDD. There's nothing that you can do on your own. You can either contact the EDD yourself, or you can reach out to your assembly member and they can contact them for you. All right, Paul at 516. If you're a person. Oh, Thank you. I really appreciate that. All right. No, Samson. Stop. Okay, so you guys, I have a moderator, and Michael is here like moderating the chat, and he does a great job. But then this the streaming software that I use doesn't sync with him deleting these messages, so it slows me down. All right, what does UI question 9, section 1277 mean? I don't know. You have to tell me the text, Jennifer. I'm sorry. You got to tell me the text in the chat. Let's see. You're very welcome. Edward, you're very welcome. Rita James at 518. I still have about 28,000 in my portal. How do I get that money? You don't. You are entitled to collect weekly payouts and certify for your weeks and then receive what is allocated to you through those weekly benefits. You can't receive a lump sum payment. If you're entitled to any backdated weeks, then you can file for backdating. Okay. Let's see. Jack, you don't need to delete your question, but I might not have seen it. So if I didn't get to it, you can re-ask it down below. Thank you for answering my question about the very weird deferred claim program. Not jealous, but it speaks to the inequities of the system. You're very welcome for answering that. And I'm sorry I don't have a better answer for you. Yeah, I want to take this up with the EDD and see what their response is to me. It hasn't been highest on my priority list with my communications with the media department yet, but this week it can be, and I can ask them about that. However, I don't think that their response is going to be very helpful or insightful with that content. Thank you. I really appreciate that. John at 519, according to the EDD, for the MEUC documents, they want the total tax return copy, not just the Schedule C. If they're asking for you personally to send that in, then yeah, send that in. All right. Your phone number worked, but EDD changed, and it now follows 1, 2, 4. Doesn't allow us to press all at once, but one after another. Yes, it's one after another. 1, 3, 4. Not like 3 all at once, but like 1, 3, 4. All right. Sorry, I just saw your live. I have 3 pending payments. Will I still get paid for those after September 11th? If you are entitled to those payments, yes, you will receive those payments. If for some reason they move to not paid, disqualified, etc., then you need to clear that up with the EDD and see why. But as long as you're qualified to receive those, then yes, they're entitled to pay those out. Now, with conditional payments that are going to be applied to pending payments, they have up until September 30th to pay those out. In order to speed up that process, contact your assembly member. All right, Charlie at 521. I just got extended for 29 weeks. My claim went to $6,000 balance. Had to file a new claim after 8/25, but only got paid for 1 week. Now my balance is $1,400 and 2 weeks are pending. Why? Okay, so if you just got extended, you filed a new claim, and you got paid for 1 week. I can't tell you why you're pending, but contact your assembly member. Michael can drop the link in the chat box. All right, Kareem at 521. EDD never sent me January and February to certify. I already answered this question from you. If you have a claim start date that does not include those, then you need to backdate your claim to include those. Go to askedd.edd.ca.gov. Okay, I'm going to do maybe 2 last questions, and then I will have to be done for the day. Okay, Karina at 531, certified but haven't gotten paid. It says pending, but they said I have to wait for an interview. Okay, so if you're awaiting an interview, you're going to receive a conditional payment from the EDD sometime before September 30th, as long as it's not a brand new claim and you have received a payout before. To speed up that process, contact your assembly member, and in many cases, they're able to push you from pending to paid. All right, 531, would EDD still require documents after your benefits have exhausted? Yes, the EDD may reach out to you and ask for documentation, your self-employment income, verify that you're self-employed, address verification, etc. Yes, they will still reach out to you. They have up to, I think it's 3 years to issue an overpayment notice, even after your claim is expired. So make sure that you comply, make sure that you answer their phone calls, and make sure that you send that documentation over. I would make a terrible president. I'm too silly. Jeffrey, 531. Can I move to another state and receive the balance? If you move out of state, you have to notify the EDD of your new address. However, that claim is based on your last year's worth of employee earnings. So, because you paid your taxes in the state of California for that last year, you still should be entitled to receive those payouts, but you do have to notify the EDD that you're moving. All right, a couple more. Do we get the $600 bonus every week? $600 boost has been over for quite some time. What we have currently is a $300 boost, and that is applicable up until claim week ending September 4th. Okay, Logan at 535. Can I ask for back pay even a week before certifying, or do I have to wait until it says paid? No, you don't have to wait. You have to have your claim be approved, and then you can go to askedd.edd.ca.gov and apply for backdating. Okay, scroll up here and get a couple more. Okay, Laura at 535. I just checked that I have a negative balance, but varies weeks to certify. Okay, if you have a negative balance, it means you've been issued an overpayment. You're going to need to check your inbox for an overpayment notice to get details on what's going on, or you can contact the EDD directly. Now, it may still have you certified because some of those certifications may go towards your overpayment balance, but you need to contact the EDD right away so that you understand exactly what is going on with that overpayment. All right, James, 535. Is there any chance for PUA after ending date? We do not currently have any extensions for PUA. No. All right. Now, if I didn't watch yesterday's video, the additional funds from the American Rescue Plan Act that were allocated to the state and local fund, I did a video yesterday that shows exactly how the state is spending those funds. They all seem to be earmarked, set aside for specific programs because they have been passed in the budget, and I go over that in that video. The only possibility would be if something has changed on the federal level, or if the state of California reallocates the budget, passes it, votes on it, passes it, etc. All right, Rosalie at 536. I believe since my assemblyman was constantly telling EDD to prioritize my phone interview and reach a decision soon due to my financial hardship, EDD retaliated. I'm sorry to hear that. All right, last question. Does the balance on my extension include the $300 boost, or should I divide that balance? No, your balance that you see in UI Online does not include the $300 federal boost. That's just your weekly benefit award amount times the number of weeks. And PEUC, PUA, $300 boost ends September 4th. So you're trying to see how many weeks it covers. UI is going to continue on for 26 weeks. PEUC, PUA, $300 boost ends September 4th, regardless of claim balance. Okay, thank you, Paul. All right. Okay, you guys, I lose my voice right before I say goodbye. All right, you guys, I'm going to be all done for the day. What day is today? Day of the week is today. I think it's Wednesday. Today's Wednesday, so I'll be live again on Friday. If I did not get your questions today, because there are so many and I do as many as I possibly can, you can come to a live stream on Friday. But what works out the best is that anytime I post a video, you click the notification bell so you're alerted within the first 30 minutes of posting the video. Put your question in the comments right there as soon as it goes live, because I sit at my computer and I answer all the comments for the first 30 minutes. So even if it's a different topic, like I have a self-employment video that's going to come out either late tonight or tomorrow. Those usually have like no comments in them because you guys only want to hear about the unemployment stuff with your unemployment questions. But my self-employment crowd doesn't leave as many comments. So go leave your questions there when that video is posted. Okay, you guys, I will see you next time.